Good evening. These are the stories making the headlines in the Hot 7 Nightly News.
The nephew of a security guard who was attacked whilst on duty is sending an emotional plea to his uncle's assailants. The health minister confirms there is still no timeline for the move to the Owen King EU hospital. And reggae lovers are in a frenzy as the countdown is on for the release of reggae icon Buju Banton. We have the details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovely and Amy Joseph.
It is Thursday, the 6th of December 2018. Welcome to the Hot 7 Nightly News. I am Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. The nephew of a security guard who was attacked while on duty is sending an emotional plea to his uncle's assailants. He's asking them to think about their victims' families and essentially the country before perpetrating such senseless violence. Rochelle Gonzalez begins our reporting.
The nephew of George Guleman, the Forester security guard who was attacked whilst on duty at the Entrabo Secondary School over the weekend, has spoken out about the effects of the attack on his family. Bernaz Kodra said this has been the most difficult time for his family, especially his uncle's 4 children.
It is really a very, very difficult, painful time for everybody, not being able to have any type of response from him from the time of the incident. It is something that, one has to really take some deep introspection. And I really want to take this opportunity to, appeal to those young men who are taking life for granted. Those young persons who, for no reason at all, attacking a gentleman who has been known to be very quiet to himself, does not even hurt an ant if you speak to any family member, and now to have him in this condition where he can do absolutely nothing for himself.
Kodra said the people responsible for this crime need to think of the larger implications of such actions as it affects more than just his family.
Yes, you may have attacked one person, but you've created pain to several family members, to a community, to a country. I want those persons who are continuing to go on this crime wave to know the impact this is having on our country. We are a country dependent on tourism. When this information gets out there and countries decide to put our country on a watch list or put alerts against visiting our country, it is going to have an impact on everybody, not just my family.
He also had some words of advice for the youth of the nation.
Please, I appeal to you. As a young man myself, I am asking you to please stop the violence. Please stop the attacks on innocent people. Please stop the attacks on our schools. These institutions, you benefited from them. By you attacking them, you are creating major problems for the future generation of this country. I really do pray, even as we are in this season of Christmas, that we will remember Jesus, the greatest gift given to us.
Kodra implored the nation to fight what he called spiritual warfare on the nation with prayers. According to Kodra, George Guleman remains in critical condition and in an unresponsive state at the Victoria Hospital. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
Minister with responsibility for health, Mary Isaac, says a definitive day for the complete move to the Owen King EU hospital is out of her ministry's hands. She says the efforts are ongoing. However, the final say will come after all parties involved give the all clear.
Is there no end in sight for the plight of medical professionals and patients at the Victoria Hospital? The health facility, with its aged and crumbling infrastructure, was labeled a hazard by the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association, the Nurses Association, and the Trade Union Federation at a press conference last month. Anticipation is high that a move to the Owen King EU Hospital is imminent, but Health Minister Mary Isaac says communicating timelines or deadlines at this point is just not feasible.
When things do not entirely depend on us, we cannot really give timelines because you have people that you have to co-opt to come and assist us to continue the move. Different pieces of equipment that we have to operationalize. We need the technical people to come in, and some of these people are not even coming in locally. Even our elevators in St. Lucia, they are not fixed. Most of the time they have to bring in technical people from Trinidad when they break down. So you cannot really give a timeline per se for a completion of the move.
But according to the health minister, all is not lost. She says work on the move is steadily underway. The government has continued to reiterate its commitment to the move and to the plight of both workers and patients at the Victoria Hospital.
Right now, the move is going on, and it's very gradual. And especially when you're dealing with sick people, you have to make sure that you cross all your T's and dot all your I's. So we are taking our time to ensure that we move, and we move everybody safely. And when we get into the new hospital, that everything that needs to be there is in place.
Meanwhile, the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party recently indicated that it observes with trepidation the worsening of the crisis in healthcare in St. Lucia. The SLP says while the crisis deepens, the commissioning of the Owen King EU Hospital is showing little progress and being conducted under a cloud of secrecy.
The National Workers' Union has requested intervention from the Minister of Labour, Stephenson King, with regard to 3 separate industrial matters. The union is hoping for a speedy resolve to the issues. Solange Alfred tells us more.
The National Workers' Union is demanding that a sense of urgency be given to matters unresolved with 3 separate business entities. The union has requested the intervention of Minister for Labour, Stephenson King, in these matters. Secretary General in the NWU, Johan Harewood, expounded on why this measure was necessary, saying that the 3 companies involved includes Blue Waters Limited, St. Lucia National Housing Corporation, and Anne Chasney Hotel.
Well, we have requested, as I said, the intervention of the Minister, Honorable Stephenson King, in terms of a decision, a wrongful and unfair decision by the company to terminate 5 employees. That is as it pertains to Blue Waters. We've also requested his intervention as it relates to ongoing negotiations. Well, the lack of, I should say, the lack of willingness on the part of the management of Anne Chasney to sit down and meet with the NWU to get the negotiations off the ground. And the third issue has to do with the National Housing Corporation, the decision the corporation took as it pertains to employees that were made redundant without the process going through.
Haywood explained that these efforts will look to bring in the minister at mediation level, with hopes of addressing each issue on behalf of the NWU's members. The NWU also looks to hold meetings with the employees of the entities and update them on the matters.
The minister at mediation level will intervene and attempt to bring everybody together so that these respective matters can be addressed and ultimately resolved.
According to Harewood, adequate effort has been made in an attempt to reach out to the various parties, but to no avail. This, he says, is the reason that this request for intervention is absolutely necessary.
If you've made an effort to reach out to these parties to appeal to their good sense and judgment, and it doesn't work, it doesn't materialize, you have to escalate it, and we've decided to go in the route of seeking the intervention of the Minister of Labour.
The National Workers' Union believes that the reluctance by all parties involved to engage the NWU warrants their actions, as they are the bargaining agent for said employees. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Meanwhile, the NWU has written to Senator Mary Isaac, Minister for Health and Wellness, to request a lump sum payment to St. Jude Hospital workers. The letter, dated the 26th of November 2018, pointed out that St. Jude workers are making tremendous sacrifices under poor working conditions in an attempt to continue contributing a high quality of health service at the institution. The NWU has requested that a $1,000 lump sum payment should be given to the St. Jude Hospital workers as a token of appreciation and in keeping with what government will do before Christmas for the other group of government workers. In other news, an irate supermarket employee and a frustrated school principal are speaking up about a problem which has been affecting an area near both facilities. They are calling on the CCC to take tougher action on people urinating in public. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
To some, the spot behind me along Trinity Church Road and next to the Dilly supermarket might appear to be any normal street corner. However, it might as well be a public toilet. As I stand here, the stench is indescribable and unbearable to say the least. However, one Dilly supermarket employee is saying enough is enough and is calling on the powers that be to put a stop to it now.
Evans Williams, who is a security officer at the Dilly supermarket, said for many years the spot around the corner from the establishment has been used by persons from all walks of life with a need to empty their bladder. He said although the Castries City Council made attempts to remedy the situation, they could be doing a lot more.
Here is like a toilet. The urine, I don't know, I think either we have to have some city council policemen patrolling this area to control the urine that we are receiving here, and I would call them some human rats that actually take over this area, and the situation is not nice at all for us at the supermarket. And if that's the case, sooner or later, either we try to ask CCC to give us a different location for the supermarket or something. I do not know what's going to happen. I can't even explain it. It's just not nice. It's like a volcano when it erupts.
And how does it affect shoppers at all?
They come to me as a security and ask me, are we doing anything? Sometimes they ask me to come outside and see what's taking place. I come there, I see what's happening. They have minibus drivers coming there, they use that as a public toilet. The zombies, they come there, they fist out just by the pipe where I have to be closing the mains of the building every night and open it every morning. Sometimes I have to cover it with dates and use gloves to come and open the pipe, which is not looking nice.
Principal of the Anglican Infant School, Christine Merville, said the situation has reached a point where violators no longer feel the need to be discreet and expose their private parts to the children and staff. Merville said on rainy days like Thursday, the stench is somewhat bearable. However, on hot and dry days, the conditions are nauseating to say the least.
For a number of years, we have been faced with that issue. We have men, we have women, and we even have women bringing little children there to urinate. This is like the public washroom. And you wouldn't imagine the smell emanating from that place on a daily basis. Look at our location. We're directly opposite the area. So the smell comes directly to our students and teachers. And it is really awful. Something has to be done about this.
Although in recent months, the Castries City Council Police have made several arrests of persons caught urinating in public in the city centre, he is hoping that the efforts will extend to areas such as this one. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News. Still to come, CARICOM's watchdog has a close eye on Scotiabank transactions. The public weighs in on the pending release of Buju Banton, and the December festivals kick into high gear. Stay with us.